I apologize. I need to say it again and again and again. Islam, Islam, Islam. How's everybody today? Good. Well, thank you. Thank you. I want to say this. Islam, again. Sometimes, okay, who's having conversations that are so loud that I can hear them up here? Not you two. Oh, Islam. Good to see you, isn't it, Phil? Real Phil, good to see you, isn't it? No, it's good to see you again, right? Yeah, Miss Marie's in the house tonight. Everybody give him a welcome. Don't blush. Not hear from you today. Listen, sometimes I want y'all to know something. And I might not, maybe I ought not say this, but you know, I don't believe in ought not say. I believe in saying what you feel. There are some times when myself, I can't speak for Sister I need you to speak for herself, but and others who do this work sometimes say, why are we doing this work? Did you hear me? You heard me say? Especially when I read what definitely Sister Deanna's listening. We're definitely putting up on doing the last edit on her report about the new ID card. Have y'all, came out of the new ID child, the CID child identification card. Child identification card, yes, that. And I think to sit there and Lord, my Lord have mercy, if women and mothers, especially mothers, because you think mothers have the first heartbeat, we know mothers have the first heartbeat this job. So with that being in order, how would you even think to allow them to issue an ID card for an infant with a customer number and or in some cases driver's number, license number on it already, which is nothing but a customer number, someone doing business. How could you even think to issue it with at the point where a signature goes is two little baby footprints as if the child was old enough to put a statement of their own? How could you even think when it has, not only does it not have nationality on it, which means it is absolutely disconnecting the child with any nation without disconnecting him to his mother. Because that's where nationality comes from. For all those who don't want to hear, don't want to know, that's the truth. So by not having nationality, just disconnected from the mother, and on top of that, and so as not to hide this situation, actually doesn't have the mother or the father or anything like that that's tied to the parent or parents or the card. It's tied to the particular state that issued this instrument. And so the reason I feel for the moment for a second is because I said if sisters don't get it with that, why? What is the problem? Now, I know that's not always necessarily the case, but there will be so many who still won't get it. The logic they're going to use for this, well, if the child is not, they should then be found. I get them up, And if they are found, and they are returned to the state, that's where that is going to be, because they ain't giving it back to you. Because that's the excuse for taking it in the first place with these agencies that have been set up and in motion and working already to get you used to young mothers and daughters and sisters. The fact that they will be in your life. All they're doing now is taking that position early on. Why? Because many of the mothers and the people are not having a child in a hospital. There's a percentage of that. Two, even if they do, they're not sending their child to public institutions so that they can have this continued reach to your child. You follow me, sir? So many of that is increasing. So now it's a lot of forget it. We're just going to do it at the door from the first. That's it. Now, this child ID card is going to actually, eventually, get rid of the birth certificate totally, because from the time that was pushed out and some breeze, they got an ID card issued from a corporation. Now, let's look at the brighter side if there isn't any. None of this makes your child a corporation. None of it. The only thing that actually makes that is you not knowing the difference. Because just because they took what you called your child, put it in all caps and made it fiction, don't mean that that is what the child is. It means that that's not what we are either once we know it. That's why declining in nationality if you don't do anything else is a necessity. Because it automatically eliminates such instruments from being attached to you because, all right, look, all of this is tied into this new thing. Since Moors have been raising their issues, raising their consciousness about who they are. They now mock you and take this thing and say that you are being charged with, supposedly charged with identity theft. Laugh out loud. That's right. Identity theft. Let's get real, Moors. They're only doing that because you are now declaring your identification and your status and your religion, right? So now they say, you're identity theft. Let's laugh out loud again. Whose identity is it that I'm stealing? Bring it to the table. Bring that being to the table. Take it here. So it's reversed now. Because you have the self-righteous self-determination and identity achievement. When the parent, let's go back to the parent with this crazy so-called identification, they want to give a baby. Right? When the parent has a child, when the child comes through here, they are on a path for identity achievement. That's the path they're on, coming through your womb. You have a responsibility to nurture them so that they can stand on their 2 feet and do what they're doing in their life. That's called achievement, right? So now you have to make it so that they can do their own self-identity achievement as they get older. But if you tie them to a court, because that's what a corporation is, you've already done it in justice. There's no way. It's almost the same as saying there's no way I'm going to give an affirmation to my child until that child tells me they're spiritual they are. So no, there is no affirmation of what they want to call a name, which is a tag, to give to you this day while I'm in here. If I'm in the hospital, my child was born right now. I haven't given them one yet. And you can always do that. If you do so, haven't signed one yet. You understand? Because it's against my religion. I have to do that later. After the child, which is the spirit of an ancestor return, tells me who it is, what you mean, that's my religion. Questions about my religion cannot be asked. Now we understand why Prophet Noble said to declare your nationality and your religion. And why he had that religious arm established. Because religious freedom, the door opens both ways. Do you get it? And true religion, he knew what it was. And all you got to do is read religious controversy, and he tells you, although the sun hangs high noon, it comprehends it not. You know what I mean? That's law, order, governing principles, which is cosmos, right? So now with that, so since Moors are becoming conscious of this, they got to grab the children at an earlier age. They know they might not get them into public school, so they reach out now and they're brazen about it, brazen. So the only people that think will still remain on that other side that we want to, I don't even want to give the credit to the positive end of it, because there is no positive end of it. Because, some people will say, well, some parents aren't good parents, they need, guys, whatever. Well, maybe not, and we need to determine that and counsel and all that with our own. Because all they're doing is trying to make finance off of that. With these agencies that have no authority, but they create the problem and then watch you dance in it because the results are obvious going to occur, going to exist. Results of such are going to exist if you don't know who you are. Results are going to exist. Negative results are going to exist if you don't honor your own mother and father. Results of negative proportion are going to exist if you don't know your own heritage and history. And that is already, clear. That makes too much sense. And so these things are already established to be known, and now they're reaping the benefits of those that they had that still, like those who would say, well, I don't think this card's so bad, like that. They don't see yet that it is. that it is, because it is prima facie evidence. It is prima facie evidence that the child is motherless. It is prima facie evidence then that the child has not claimed nor have you for them, because the child can't. Any nationality which every child is has when they're born. It's prima facie evidence of that. Okay, what you think? That piece of paper now is prima facie evidence. Now, when they get rid of that certificate, which is an additional credit to them because it's a bond that they put on the stock market that you think is you, but I'll say it again. I had someone say, they've got us up on the stock market. I said, how can they have me up on the stock market if I'm sitting right here before you? Because we're living, breathing beings, flesh and blood beings, not on the stock market. They took what my mother called me and put it in all caps and put it on the stock market. And I'm going to tell it again. If you can't see it from that perspective, you're in trouble, because you will do these things that are out there, like go and try to somehow redeem a birth certificate that is proof of human trafficking on his face. I don't care whether it's, because here's the thing, there's so many different people redeeming or whatever that happens, they want to call it regarding that birth certificate piece of paper that is not you. And I'm going to tell you, you better know that more now than ever before. You have to know the distinctions more now than ever before. So whatever they want to call it, when I'm redeeming, they argue about the process for the redemption. That's not what I put out. I put it out like this. Somebody else came and they changed it and they do it like that. And somebody else they came and they do it like that. Yeah, and they include that, we get $8 million in 6 months or whatever the heck that craziness is. Like that. That kind of stuff. And and that goes along with, we study everything except for the law of the land. We will do everything but that, So the same thing with this thing, we're running after this bond. Everybody knows it's a bond. You didn't create it. It's not yours. So people say, well, it's got my footprint on it. That's my intellectual property. What goes through the person who put the footprint on it then? For putting the footprint on it. Oh, yeah, who would that be? Do you know? Because that's collusion. Who would you sue for that? So instead of that, let's be a party to the fraud by claiming it some way, shape, form, or fashion. Wasting time, energy. So, for all those who have gone down, you're going to be the party to a contract you didn't have before. And it's not that you can't contract. It's not that you couldn't. That's not really a contract. But it's not that that's two signatures. I don't know what the offer is or what the take of it. But birth certificate is simply not a contract. And it's not that you can't, but if you do, you need to be in your proper person when you do make whatever contract or agreement you may get into. You need to enter it in the proper person and exit in the proper person itself, if that's what you would do, or if you choose to do that. So I said all this to say that sometimes we say, why? I was talking to Sister Edith, and I can't speak for her, but I'm like, there's just going to be a whole lot of sisters that ain't going to get it. And the reason I keep saying sisters is because, truthfully, not that the sons and the brothers don't matter, but really it's the mothers that do. It's pretty honest enough to come right out and say that. And it's hard to say without someone feeling uncomfortable. Well, you know what? So be it. So be it, because it's just what it is. And until the mothers become aware of their situation and their obligation to the fact that they are mother and son and there's nothing else on the planet but mother and son, period, then it won't be fixed until the nation does not rise any higher than its women. We've all heard it before, but have we actually put it where it belongs? And so we know that, you know, there's great misunderstandings of what is being said when we call women. You know, it's because that's the call to raise, that's the call to uplift foreign humanity and the nation. There is no other. There is no other. And if she's not involved in what that which is called earth, then that it is a joke. And if I could say, serious joke. It's an illusion. It's a snare. That's what it is. So for whoever doesn't feel comfortable with that, no problem. Go sit in the back room, go sit in the other room. Whatever you got to do. Because it's about sisters. You know, we say it all the time. It's not about sons, but it's about sisters when it comes to birthright and raising the nation. Because all of the sons come from you and you're the first mover. We were just talking about that in Scar. We want to get this clear, too. Because Dave and I was just talking about that. And sometimes people, you know, because of what we've learned, we apply information. Like the first school room is the womb. That's a fact. There's no other school room on the planet that compares to that. So these institutions that they put your child in and these teachers that they have now coming, because we're talking about how they got teachers now that can substitute teach. They don't even have to have qualifications. Why? I bet you that's not happening in the European neighborhoods. It is not. Go check it out for yourself, because it's not. Because it is absolutely unequivocally not going down there. But it can happen in yours. So, you know, so those are not the teachers we're talking about. We're talking about the mothers who was given to me. We're talking about what used to be, what we thought was the standard of what a teacher could be. You know what I mean? We're talking about how they lowered those standards to teach your children, our children, but in all of those, what do you say, Annie? The rapists, the pedophiles, it doesn't matter. People who are not qualified, and we've been going through this too. Qualified teachers of this information, you will not find as a substitute who just got fired last week, or a teacher that just got fired just because they were teachers. They cannot be teachers in Moorish information. Do you understand that? All right, can anybody tell me why? You feel it. If you're really about the nation, you feel it. But you really don't know why. You have an idea of why, brother? All right, give up your idea as to why you can't go out and hire freaking fired teachers to be a teacher of your so-called curriculum that has to do with more information. Why? Absolutely. So let's go to Prophet number 2. What did he say? He said, one, why do we stick to the questionnaire and that the leaders of the nation come out of the Sunday school? For that very reason. So we know we're spirit, right? Manifested in flesh, but this is the divine national movement, right? So if the teacher doesn't have anything about the validity of your history, they're not qualified. And if you do it anyway, you're not qualified. You're just trying to make some legacy for yourself or some name for yourself. And that's what has been happening. No one wants to accept the fact that this is divine and national information and activities, because it is. So oftentimes egos get in the way and other things like that, you know, and I'm going to get mine. And there's some money at the end of the, so-called money at the end of the 6-month wait if I just go redeem this and do that. See, many of us also may not be aware of the difference of color of our law, because I find some good minds, some good people, they can brainwash it. You know that, right? Millions and billions of years of brainwashing. You know, can I see, I don't know if I have a natal chart book over there. Listen, do you have the natal chart? The Zodiacal View on You 1 book, how to interpret your natal chart? Is there at least one over there? There should be a few. You read that? You know your natal chart? Okay, you know your natal chart. Let's do something with that. What's your sun? Hold on. Oh, do we have a marker in the green thing is on markers? All right. So the reason I got this though was because the reason I asked to get this book is before I do that is because here it says to wash your brain is to destroy billions of thought processing that has been passed down strongly through the years. All right? Say that again, Moor. What do I mean by that? All right. Man is mind. So if someone is brainwashing or washing your brain, because that's what's happening, it's destroying billions and billions of thought and thought processes that has been passed down ancestrally through the years. And that's what has happened. Do you understand what I mean by that now? Yeah? All right. So with that, we would think that, when we understand it from that position, we start talking about what is 1,000 years. 1,000 years is a day is 1,000 years. Where are you? In the seventh day? Like there's no calendar, there's no time. But on this writing, and when the work is done or was done, they returned here to make vengeance on all those who did not see or did not come into the light. And one warning is all that we're all going to get. If you do not heed the warning will not reach you. So then you will never know, but yet you must know the legend, because knowledge is power. But information, being informed, is the source. So there's a lot of informative services or whatever that wants to give you information and stuff like that. It's not properly being informed. Plus, they're doing it for their own good. Let me just do this real quick because I don't know, the Spirit just told me to do this. You said that your sun is a Taurus, correct? So therefore, if I did this symbol right here, which is the sun, and I put this symbol right here, which is Taurus, it means the sun is in Taurus. This is glyph. Oh, hold on. All right, and your moon, this is the sign of the moon, is in what? Cancer? She's a mother like no other. And your ascendant or rising. Okay. So you have earth, you have water, and water. So you have the most powerful water of them all, the wateriest of them all, which is Pisces, which is what you present yourself as. Well, hold on. You are a Cancer. You're not a Taurus. You understand? Expressing, because the moon represents your soul. You understand that? The moon is your soul. You were conceived, when you were conceived at the moment of conception, wherever the moon was then, that's what it is now, and that's what you also past in. So you can almost go back to the date and find out what day you were conceived within 3 days based on that fact alone. Backwards through the ages, masterminds trace themselves, thus they know. Sometimes you what? Oh, well, I'm just saying, you go 9 months back, because it's 12 months to this solar system that you're standing under, which, by the way, Pisces represents the feet, because that's the pedestal of which you stand, the 2 feet. That's the pedestal. But, and when you begin and you end from there, Pisces is at the beginning and at the end. Then comes Aries, new birth comes out, so on like that. But now, you also have this, so this is the mutating water, but actually you are a Cancer which is an initiator, which gets stuff expressing yourself through the dictates, expressing the dictates of your soul through the characteristics of a Taurus. That's your spirit, because you're expressing the dictates of your soul through the characteristics of the sun and presenting the dictates of your soul through the characteristics of a Pisces. Now, you don't need to be either one, because you're not. You're a Cancer. You just present yourself like that, and you express yourself through the characteristics of that. Now, when these things are not in harmony, that's when you got disharmonious people, or when they're not balanced. This is our true counseling right here. You understand? So, the manner in which you express yourself is received well by many, because the earth, Taurus, receives your water of your soul without changing it, so you're at peace with that. Right? Right? But sometimes you're not sure about the presentation, which can seem to be overbearing and sometimes over-emotional. Is that a yes? Understanding that that's because it's water, which is where emotions run. And it's also mutable. Pisces is a mutating sign. Cancer is an initiate. You have a nice balance there. You have the initiation sign, beginning of season, initiation. You have a fixed, which is Taurus, means you can supervise your own stuff, right? Until you get emotional. And then you have the ability to mutate and make changes or be the worker. You see what I'm saying? Because mutating people, that would be the Virgo, the Pisces, and the Virgo, put it in this order, the Virgo, the Sagittarius, and the Pisces. They don't care how they do the work. They could be behind the scenes. It doesn't matter. As long as the work gets done, do you follow? So this is called, what I just did for you right here, your Trinity. It's a Trinity reading. This is the true Trinity, your sun, your moon, and your rising. That's it, that's all. I don't care what they tell you. That's what it is. Is it in harmony or not? So let's go a little further. Why do I say that? Why do I build this pyramid, which is really 120, 120, 120 in the math? Because it comes from a wheel, which is the astrology wheel. And when you draw the astrology wheel, and I'm glad I have time to do that right now, and instructing anyone who might be listening to draw a circle, to put a cross in the circle, which gives you the 4 quadrants. You know, like, y'all seen this in the books already, but for those who have not, you see how I put that dot right there? If you were to 3-dimensionally pull that dot up, is that not a pyramid? You see it? You see it now, right? All right. Keep that in mind. 4 corners of the earth, you know, north, east, south, and west. North, east, west, and south, which is new. So now look. I just threw that in there, but it's true. So now look here. Here's what we do. We have, okay, here's how you draw this better. Just take a V after you do the quarter and put it in there, upside down. And it makes it so much easier to draw this path, the wheel. All right? So this is the cardinal points here, 4 corners, 4 seasons. Cardinals in the church, right? Bishops and the deacons are the ones in between. But anyway, look, I did this to say this. So you have, this is all on Aries, you have Taurus, and you have Gemini. So let's go over here to Cancer, next cardinal point. And the reason I'm drawing this to show you something, instead of telling you, sometimes you got to show it, because this is why astrology is illustrated with wheels. because it is visual as well. Then I'm going to stand in the middle of the floor and show you where your first 3 degrees are and the 120. And then you're going to feel like something's missing, because it is. And the only reason is because you have been manifested on this earth plane. That's all. Now, that's what's missing. So you have limitations. And in this, you got 9 solar months, 10 lunar months, and there's together 12. So, of course, something's missing. So now, on the solar calendar. So after you have Cancer, then you have Gemini, Cancer, and Leo, and then Virgo, and then Libra, and then Scorpion, and then Sagittarius, and then Capricorn, and then Aquarius, and then the beginning and the end is Pisces. So now, as an example, Aries is a air sign, a fire sign, right? Right? And so with that, you go from, hold on a minute. Now, what am I getting ready to do? That's not what I'm getting ready to do. I'm telling you, we forgot what I was telling you, right? What I was discussing is, here, give it to me. What I was discussing is, why that is infinity. What does that mean if you don't know what it means? Where it comes from? Why it is? What does it mean? For children, and it will always be a teaching tool based on your knowledge. You see what you see, and it's all going to show you why I said that. And I like this because I'm able to take my time here and draw pretty well. Oh. Thank you. Like I always rushing before, well, guess what? This is what, I want us to keep this in mind because this is what we're dealing with. You have your sun, your moon, and your rising, right? Your Trinity, the true Trinity for all beings. And it's not Father, Mother, Holy Ghost. Well, it is, but it isn't, and that's another story. But at any rate, sun, your moon, base, and your rising. Huh? Well, yeah, I just put it there because rising and ascending is the same thing. How about y'all in the back? Can hear you up here. Thank you. So check it out. This is why I'm showing you this. I want to keep that in mind so we're not lost on this lesson right here. Yes. Yeah. I have the two books, How to Interpret Your Natal Chart and The Psychology of Astrology. And a lot of things are explained in it. But the reason I got this book was because of this poem that I had been inspired to write a long time ago, years and years ago, like 1997-ish AD. But I didn't know why at the time. But I understand it much better now as it applies because it just starts out with all of our energies are one. And not that we have to wait for them to become one, but that they already are. And when I got this poem, which is on the back of here, or this writing, it was like in a trance mode, kind of, sort of, and I didn't understand it. But I do completely, and we were talking about brainwashing, and that's in there. Because it says that it says that if someone has washed your brain, and then it also says
So we say that we've suffered humanity, and everybody complains. Everybody complains about suffering humanity, suffering, slavery, this, suffering, that. So if we've all complained that we've suffered humanity, then somebody must be afraid somewhere, somehow. Somewhere. All right, I'm going to ask it, y'all, please. Please. Thank you. Somewhere, somehow. The powers are in your mind, because this is not a system thing, as we keep saying. It is a mind thing, because man is mind. That's why when I was talking about this ID, that's not what it's about. That's not even your system. That's their stuff that you really should have nothing to do with, because they're going to rob your children. In fact, the article that Sister Jayana wrote, it even talks about body parts and how much they get for body parts. So now, on the ID for the child, they're asking you to donate your child's body parts right then and there. Yes. On a state ID, they're doing it 1 year. We're talking about for a child. Crazy. So for those who think, well, I'm just going to do this because it's easy, no, it's not. Because like I said, even if your child were to give misplaced laws, whatever, they're not giving it back to you anyway. They're only figuring out how to steal the children at an earlier age, because we're not now, a lot more people are not putting them into the institutions where they can have their hands on them. So they got to take them when they can, as they can. All that really is happening is, this is not speculation, this is very real, is that it's just being exposed who they are and what they do. Because they're not your child's mother. They're not your mother. Taking that position, you know, you have to go back to and watch the movie called Lincoln the Vampire Hunter to truly understand what they're doing. Lincoln the Vampire Hunter, which came out right before the Lincoln movie a year or two ago called Lincoln About the Emancipation. But it came out like 2, maybe as short as 3 weeks, maybe a month before that movie, so that it could distract people from the fact that Lincoln the Vampire Hunter happened. Now, how many people have seen Lincoln the Vampire Hunter? All right, yeah, quite a few, because I think we mentioned it before. They're a nation. They're, you know, like when you talk about, like we'll say things like, oh, they're vampires, oh, they're, like that, Dracula. That is a terminology that is very real in its activity, because it's about sucking blood, and this is about your bloodline. So it's not out of order. Yes, you have your hand up. Did you have? Oh, where's the mic? Yeah, and then I'll go back to this explanation of this, because everything is tied in. Everything is tied in, and I trust that people will be able to find their way to all that is, because everything is tied to every living thing is tied to every other living thing.
Islam.
Islam.
I just want to add on that the movie Underworld also.
Oh, too close. Just a little.
Underworld also touches on that whole premise of the vampire versus the werewolf, but the vampires moving forward to start their own nation.
Yeah.
But like you said, the Vampire Slayer movie put it more into context. So Interview with a Vampire as well. They touch on that, where they showed how there's a bloodline.
Yes.
These bloodlines of vampires go throughout different ages and whatnot, set up, their structure and just feed off of the people.
And now I'm glad you ended it like that, feed off the people, because we do know that they're colonists, right? And if you look up colonists, that's what that means. It's feeding off of another nation, other people. That's what colonist is. So everybody's real clear who the colonist is. It never was hidden. And now that their father came on the Congress floor for his own retribution these days, and said that those people who are telling you that they're your government are immigrants, because they are. You see what I'm saying? Microphone needed right here. Islam. You have a question? Yes, he's bringing you the microphone now. Just don't put it too close, because it blurs over the air. That's good. I think you need to cut it on. All right, that's fine.
Okay, I have a question. Testing. I have a lady that comes to visit my daughter.
Yes.
And she's not, she's at the caseworker. I have
Pull it back a little bit. On the air, it's rumbling. Go ahead.
I have a grandson who has autism. And she said she went to a restaurant about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And she was at the table, and she was eating with her family, and next to her was another family that was Caucasian. And she felt her image, well, her daughter had felt funny sitting there. She's about 18. So she told her to move, and she'll sit there. And Mom was sitting there next to these people. And she said she felt all her energy being sapped out. Now, my question is, I mean, I find that hard to believe. How can somebody just sitting next to you is sap your energy like that?
Because we're all energy.
Because we're what?
Because we are all energy.
Because but how can they just be sitting right next to you and do that?
Because we are all energy. And that's all we do is exchange energy. You need to watch the movie called The Celestine Prophecies so that you can understand exactly how that happened.
Okay.
Now, the Celestine Prophecy was put out in 2006, so you need to search for it. And it's also from a book that was written, I think it's 3 or 4 sections of it. Part 1, 2, 3, or 4, I believe. Don't quote me on that one, but the movie Celestine Prophecy will explain and answer your question immediately and on the spot.
But can that be stopped?
No, it can't be stopped.
Has to do with the difference of the body or strength or mental capacity or.
You mean to transfer that to the brain?
No, but you just sit next to these people and not allow that to happen.
You can't control energy. You have to be able to recognize energy before you can even think about it. See, this is what astrology is truly about. I'm glad you brought it up. I guess that's what the spirit is saying, go to. You have incoming energy and you have outgoing energy, correct?
Uh-huh.
That's all there is. Incoming and outgoing. It's the yin and the yang. That's a positive and a negative. So you have elements and signs that are either incoming energies or outgoing energies. And a combination of such determines who you are made up and whether there's conflicts there. With fire and water and, earth and air and whatever like that. Because people who have earth and air, they like really literally walk around like hot air. They don't do much. They talk about it a lot. Because the air just goes to the water and gives vegetation to the life, but it's a bubbly situation and it won't go anywhere. It cannot really produce. You understand? Anything or it can't receive, nor can it really transmit the energy in any direction. You see what I'm saying? So this whole thing is about energy. We are on nothing but energy. Like there's people who have a overload of energy on certain things, certain portions. Like I have 8 signs in an outgoing energy. That's why myself and anyone else you may know has the kind of personality we have. But see, people who don't understand that want to change you. They want to judge you. But you got to know that about yourself in order to control. Like I'm my own lineman as I get older, how to direct that energy. But I'm not making excuses for the fact that I've been told many times, and maybe so have some of you. You walk in a room and the person feels that you're there. Now that feeling that you're there sometimes intimidates other people. I now understand why I have been treated sometimes what I call terribly unjust and unfair. Because they felt that energy and they couldn't read it because we don't know jack about energy. We become threatened by it. Now, if you should transmit our energy to a person who is not outgoing or their shit is incoming, it really is threatening to them. And once we understand these things, we can better receive each other and maybe rise above the low fall of humanity that we're in. All right? All right, peace and love. Brother right here needs some microphone. Islam.
So can that explain why when a melanated,
Put down a little bit because
of the presence of Europeans or pilgrims and we emit a certain kind of energy or light, they feel uncomfortable?
Yes.
Because I get that a lot. And
yes.
I don't know where is that coming from.
And we're going to, and you know, I'm glad we're bringing this up because we're going to get that a lot more as our consciousness raised about information that we in fact know is true. It's going to be more threatening to them than it has ever been before.
Well, just a personal testimony this weekend.
All right.
When I went down to the District of Columbia, you know, to do commerce at the Millionaire March.
We're going to talk a little bit about that later, too.
Please do.
Okay. Well, you were there, so.
The collective energy, right? Because like you said, we're outgoing.
Yeah.
People are ingoing.
Yeah.
Going back to why Europeans will suck your energy if you're around them too much. Anybody in the workplace can attest to the vampire, or let's just go there. Anyone who had relations or who's been in a relationship with a European, you can attest to the pulling, not the emitting of energy, not the charging up, but rather the pulling of your energy. You'd be like, damn, you know. Just give to them because you can feel them sucking your energy. Henceforth, what happens in neighborhoods that get regentrified.
Yeah.
You study the medical records of melanated people, the rate of heart attacks, the stress levels increase. That's not only due to the fact that the prices are raising and the stress of the rent and everything is putting our people in the hospital. Yeah. When they come amongst you, there's a pulling. The weather changes. Things begin to change. Have to pay attention. But this weekend when we were all gathered, you know, of course they put the policy enforcers on duty and everything to try to intimidate. There was a level of, you know, trying to intimidate, but like as soon as they tried to do it, because of the emittance of energy, I'm talking about they were looking at their boots for most of the day. I promise you, they were not like, you know how you see Ferguson and those other newsreels where there's intimidation, they're facing off with people. That wasn't happening this weekend. They had birds and stuff, and, you know, they were playing Flappy Bird on their phones. They was not trying to
imagine if every one brother did that in their immediate neighborhood or, you know, whatever.
They got to get this information because they don't know.
Guess what information they really got to get?
Yeah.
Guess what information they really got to get? The law of the damn land.
Right.
Cool. That's it, and that's all. That's all they got to get. And it's easy, isn't it? What you're sharing with us, Brother Rappel, is the consequence of these things. The consequence. So as we raise the consciousness level, I see that. They're fighting as well not to fall. So, you know, like sometimes we all need to shut the arm because we just ask ourselves today, oh my God, why are we doing that? And it's like, that's right. It's to uplift fallen humanity. And if we should stop recognizing that the sister back there might be fallen humanity, right? And when she does stuff that don't seem right, that you can't get upset about it. No, because she get upset with you because it's just a sign of fallen humanity. Period. Or the brother over here, or what you said about the energy being sucked by the European or those who black melanin, give that to a lesson to these sons. You're getting sucked in, sons. You're getting sucked in to start families with a nationality that is not yours. And then you have children. But the reason that you think that that's okay is because you have been taught wrong to think that this is about patriarchal principles when it is not. That one thing is the thing that gets in the way of we sisters putting things in order. Because we don't want to be without our sons, you know, for various reasons, etc. like that. But that energy sucks out the truth energy. You follow? So, the sucking of the energy, did you want to add to that, brother?
Yes, I just wanted to go on record.
Hold up a little bit more. A little bit more.
All right. You remember Moors in court videos, right?
Yes, I do.
You remember Moors on the beach videos, Moors at the supermarket, Moors everywhere videos.
Yeah, that's right.
Surge online 20 years of 2008 to about 2012. They were trending. Everybody was like, look at what the Moors are doing. So when we talk about, the way that they play their war, psych ops, they play with your mind and your heart. You know what I'm saying? Through one of their mediums of the media, right? So being in control of mass media, mainstream media, social media, what they've done with the fear campaign of police brutality, I'm just saying straight up snuff films, like murders on film. This is a new phenomenon. This is called pushback. If anybody studies blowback, pushback, that is a CIA term for the matrix responding to what it is that you're doing to it.
Wait a minute, are you saying that there's, like, I know what snuff things are, it's really people really killing, like, people who are understanding.
And that's what we're seeing with the police. With the policy officers, they're killing people on film.
All right.
Remember, when I was younger, we used to watch Faces of Death.
All right, I got you.
Now you get to see snuff films on World Star and online. What I'm saying is the pushback, right? Because remember, when I was coming back from out of town, I was like, yo, down south, the propaganda against the Moors on the local news is turning up. They're doing all of these stories of people squatting. They're calling us paper terrorists. Their campaign started out like that. Now the campaign went into the physical realm where it turned into police brutalities and police murders, and it began to rack up. Now you don't see anything about the Moors challenging any policy officers. There's no Moors in courts anymore. All of that stuff has somewhat been eradicated, and now you have a fear campaign, and now they're back in charge, and they're like, yo, send me your children, do this, do that, and the people they're obliging.
It's always been that, though. Okay, I got you. But it's always been that they've been in control on a subtle level. I see what you're saying. On a subtle level. It's always been, give me your children, do this, do that. Always, always, always. We just have not been aware. So it's not so much that it's not going down in court. It's so much that everybody recognizes that shit ain't court. You understand? That they're meeting rooms, and they're not court. It's not so much that they're not telling you still, and haven't always been telling you what to do with your child. It's just that it's real obvious, and as she said, these phases are coming out. These are phases of true faces of what's going on. So the true face now is we've always wanted you, therefore, of course, we want your child, because your child is you, because that's the blood that we must suck. Without the being, we can't suck anything. Without the being, we can't have anything. I mean, that goes deeply into, without the Aboriginal indigenous people, we can't get what's called grant money that we turn around and make you come and knock on our door and say you're a Negro to get. Do you understand what I'm saying? But once you know that you're not that, then you know how to really address those issues, So it's a different faith. It's a different faith because it's escalating to a point, and it's going to go pop. It's going pop now, really. And the King Alfred plan has already devised this. It said that here's the thing we stick with. The only thing that can change it is the people gaining knowledge. Now that takes you back to Yahshua saying my people suffer for lack of knowledge. And some people say, well, it was a long time ago. There is no time. There is no time. Remember, someone coming from the future to correct the present before it becomes the past. I don't know how many times you said right there and got this lesson that you might be getting right now if you get one. I don't know how many times you have. I don't know how many times I have. But it's a repeat because it's all energy. You never left your energy here. You understand what I'm saying? So back to the energy thing, that's what this is all about. So understanding astrology, which is law, is understanding energies, which is you. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're the law manifested in the flesh. Because the law of the length, the angle, and the width. Length, angle, and width of what? Of energy. that established you. Yes. We need a mic right here. Is that water? They got water? Right here in the front. Peace. Thank you, sis. Store. Standing on the law.
He's young.
It's
I want to ask, have anybody did the signs on, you have these modern day Europeans where they're adopting the original, the indigenous children of the land, they're adopting them.
That's what the ID's about.
You know what I'm saying? And, I believe they know that we're coming back conscious. They know who we are. We proclaim back who we are. We claim back things that belong to us. I believe, like the brother was saying back there earlier, you know what I'm saying, they're afraid, you know what I'm saying? And the only way that modern day Europeans could really actually possess anything or take anything from us, like land or something like that, we have to give it to them. They have to be married into the family or have children or something like that. So, I think they're adopting these Asiatic children really just to protect their property, the stuff that they stole. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. But the adoption portion, I'm just going to get something here, the Constitution. I know there's a little one here. Where's it at? Oh, that's the treaty. Oh, there it is. I had it. I just put my glasses on and still can't see. All right, that's all right. I can see. I really can. All right, check this out. The ID card is out for lending towards that because it says that if your child is missing, if it gets missing, or whatever like that. When really these agencies and corporations are the ones that's kidnapping the child under the guise of organized crime. Do you understand what I'm saying? So then what they'll do is, like I said, let's just say something happens and your child does become missing. Your operation, your contract is not on that so-called ID. The state is. So they're going to come to the state. You won't see the child because they don't take the child, put it in the foster home, and they've been doing that all along anyway. It's nothing new. They've always been the parent because why? Because if you, my sister, are not in your national status, then you are nothing but a guardian to your own child, which is a ward of the state. He still got it going on a little slow, but he got it. Break it down. Yeah, y'all know how to do the break it down, Arnold. That's going to be like a mainstay. We got to record it, make sure we make that up. Oh, my God, see? Good. You were. Good. See? So now, they're trying to be the guardian, father, parent to your child, grandchild, whatever like that, and destroy your family structure. What? How long they trying to take your blood in the first place in order for them to have a family structure? Come on. With that. So we must always see that. Did somebody have their hand up? You did. Right behind you, right here. And I want to go back to the position Red Pill brought up about, let me make sure I get this clear, that there was more of an air of submission by the policy enforcers than aggressiveness, assertiveness, because the energy that you brothers have is so strong. But that's why they set up a system years ago that has most males, most sons that are around 25 to 30, that period where they had them headed straight to jail, locked up into that mentality. That is why, because those are the front line. Those are the sons. And their nature is to protect. Got that. You know what I mean, like that. So they had a plan for that. It's not speculation we're giving here. I recall Europeans, because all Europeans are good people, are not bad people. A lot of Europeans are not. We don't, you know what I mean, at all. And they came to the NAACP meeting, of which at that time I was a part of and became a president of one. And why, I can tell you some things that the charter, they can't own property. You know what I mean? To this day. So anyway, well, actually, none of us really own property ancestral, but I think you understand what I'm saying. That they became headed by Europeans after the so-called riot in 1909, the race riot they call it, in 1909, and then you see that the NAACP was established in 1909. It's right on the logo, in line with the Niagara Falls movement, because they were originally we were called Niagara Falls movement, Niagara movement. And then once that was a race riot, it disbanded and it came back up with Europeans at the helm of it, and W.E. Du Bois, right? And then that's why he left it so quickly, because it was being engineered and controlled by Europeans. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't know that the original name for the NAACP was the Niagara Movement. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the history that you would have to know. And then the pieces are tied if you do some study, because I got that information out of a book called The History of the United States since 1865. And a European from a scholar from Oxford, Curran University, and another university actually wrote and recorded that information. But when you went to school and when your baby goes to school, they don't teach that information. So this is why you will gain back your heritage and your seemingly lost estate, but in a conflict that can't be told in words. Somebody, was you? You had the mic?
Yes.
All right.
This is going back to children getting identification cards from the state for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But being that we know we're Moors and we're of a different jurisdiction in the United States and the state, our identification cards should suffice if our children are missing for whatever reason as Moorish Americans. So
it's a ploy.
Yeah.
They're saying to you, these are mine. You are guardians to the wards of the state. Why are they wards of the state? Because from the door, mothers did not claim their nationality, which means that these are wards of the state. So is she. You know, and you go voting for people who are control Ward 1, you know. What ward is from Ward number 3? They're not hiding it. So if you don't claim a nationality, which means you have laws that protect you, right, and that you are, and it also means that you are not a product or a corporate citizen member. That's what it means, that you're not. And it also means you're qualified to be a mother because you have a nationality and you gave it to your child. Because the condition of the mother is only and only the condition. The condition of the child is always and only the condition of the mother. National, international, can't change it. The condition of the child is determined by the condition of the mother. And if the mothers have not declared their nationality yet, or never did ever, your child is under the same jurisdiction as you, a ward of the state. Now, that is not opinion. That doesn't have anything to do with religious ideology. That's real talk, Mom. That's facts. That's what it is. Because that's law, and that's national and international law, and maxims have a stronger, what is it, Ms. Maxims have a stronger meaning than even case. Maxims are international law, and it's a maxim. The condition of the child is based upon the condition of the mother. So since, what did he say? They're looking to destroy the mother. But the son thinking it's about him, but it's really about her. Mm-hmm. It really is about her. Because she has the power to determine the condition of the child, not you. But I got you thinking, you girl. We saying that. We should do a skit on y'all, some of y'all. Yeah, my seed. I'm going to go tickle my seed. Now, she came here with the nation. Here's the mic right here. In her room. Thank you for your, did you want to ask? Wait a minute, he's not finished. Hold on, let us finish what he was saying. There's another mic, though. We need 2 mics, one on either side of the room.
I'm sorry, it's fine.
That's all right.
From what it seems, I don't know much about the IDs as far as the state is concerned, but it seems like if you want your children to be in there.
Push it down some, yeah.
if you want your children to be in these institutions like these schools or these after-school programs that they're giving you, you're going to need their line of identification given you.
That's where your argument starts, and the whole lesson can be given to all of us based on. I didn't forget about this, y'all. I know you chomping at the bit. Because it's all connected, really. There's where it is, and this is a lesson that can be given out. Because this is what they're doing now. They're saying that you are doing identity theft. Identity of what? Theft of what? Who is the person that I'm stealing identity? You're coming in to achieve your own identity, and a mother can clip the child off from that if they already put them under the state. Like he's saying, they're saying, well, in order to get in this program, you got to have our state ID. That's discrimination, right? But what you have to think about, do I really want to be in that? What is going on in there anyway? You know what I mean? And then why do you have, and then, but back to this. They cannot tell you that your ID is unacceptable because of the fact of what an ID is, and because of the fact that as Aboriginal indigenous, you have the right to establish your own identity that must be respected. So when you go in and say, well, they said they won't accept it because of this, that is discrimination. You want to add to that? Can you give her the mic real quick, please? Because we gotta understand what we have to do with that. But it's not that you're gonna sue them for discrimination. It's that you're gonna recognize. One second, you're gonna recognize that it is discrimination. Like for instance, you're gonna have this attitude that permeates off of you. Like, well, we need another ID. I'm sorry, that's not the ID I got. Well, where did you get that from? My national family. That's my identification. What are you saying? Is it posted up in here that you only take IDs from who? What? No, this state does not issue an identification to me because then that would be a corporation. You're talking about the state of whatever. I'm not a member of citizen in a corporation. You don't go into necessarily all that I'm saying, but you have to have that on your dial plate so that the spirit of that information emits from you when you're standing there instead of let me call up on the phone. She'll tell me, hey, you know, and stuff like that. Or go to someone and say, yeah, well, it don't work because they won't take it. You got to leave that out of the picture in your energy. That's the energy, all right? Because really, we say it again, you can only be what you know. And that's why the prophet said, he said, study, and I came to teach you to be yourself. But you can't be yourself if you don't know yourself. And once again, that starts back to astrology again. You understand this half? It's the law. It's the length, the angle, and the width of all the energies that made you. It's fine.
I'm not sure. I didn't see who asked the question.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
What's this about this?
They won't take the identification and get involved in this or that or the other thing.
So here's the thing. Did anybody think to ask them for that in writing?
Yeah, right.
Did anybody think to ask them for
to ask for it in writing? She said that they won't take the ID or the law.
Or the law that supports that, because that sounds like a judicial decision. And I don't think anybody was in any lawfully seated court when that whole thing went down.
Right.
Right? Now, how do I know? How many people have gone to Social Security Administration website? You know, on the website it says that the SSN is, you don't need it to live or work. Says it. You know, on the back of the card it says, don't give this number to anyone. So why is everybody giving it out like it's free candy? Do you know it's a federal offense? Federal offense if you are denied any benefit because you refuse to give that social insurance policy number.
Any benefit, service, or right.
Any service, right, anything. But see, our problem as a people is we do not have any information.
Yeah.
And we never will as long as we continue to promote the current generation and the next generation to go to these very corporations who are mentally conditioning the people to have no information so that you cannot stand on the law, the supreme law of this land. And we have to stop making excuses because we don't have information when information is around us. And guess what? If you really understand electronics and technology, information is passing through us as we sit here having this current discussion. There's no excuse for us not having the necessary information to protect ourselves. Another mental condition that we have to overcome is that we have been conditioned to allow the very people who violate our constitutionally secured rights, we have allowed them to treat us like we are their children, and we have to go and ask them for permission for everything. And even, like, I've done that, but I have heard sisters say, well, I got to go to the Board of Education and get permission to remove my child from that school or that institution. I never did that. Maybe it has something to do with your energy and your conviction. I'm just saying. Maybe you really didn't want to do that. Sometimes we don't want to admit to ourselves that there are things that we just don't want to do.
Well, because we don't know, though. Most of the time it's because we
just
lack the knowledge.
To do it. And that's okay. If you don't want to take a stand where your birthright is concerned, it is okay. Because this thing is moving on, whether you're on it or not. It's not even about us in this room. This is a universal thing. The universe is moving on. This will be corrected, whether you are on board or not. It is inevitable. It's wrong.
But it's wrong. But see, here's the thing. Because of the training and the upbringing generational that we all have had, and for those who are able to come out of that, that's a special thing. You should treat them people with good care, especially when you find an elder that's able to actually come out of those ties and be able to impart it to you. That's a special thing. That's very special because most will not be able to do so because they don't possess. They've been brainwashed and trained, and they don't possess in them, that information to even impart to you, let alone to really do the work to make it a continuum to happen. So that's really special. But see, most of them, they don't because we got to go back to the truth. They lack knowledge because they're like, what do I do next if I don't do that? So there's no reasonable analysis in the situation that they're using, and this is because of the brainwashing or the training that we are and have had no contributions to society, to the world at all. Yet when you go and do the real history study, you find it's totally not true. Totally not true. Like I've told people before, the Holy Roman Empire is Moor. But that's not the same as the Roman Empire. How many knew that? Not many. So, just what? Today, or was it yesterday, Brother Liz was studying and found some pictures to prove it. You see what I'm saying? Because he studied it. Now, I know you have your hand up, but he has his hand up also. Let me just ask him. Huh? Oh, wait a minute. No, excuse me. This brother on the corner first. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Yes.
Got a question.
It just sounds like it's not on, but it is on. Just talk of it, but don't talk too close because it. What? Mhm.
That child and mother.
Yes.
Now, let's say in a scenario where the mother or the doesn't know, just doesn't want to know.
Yes.
About getting the child out of the woods.
Right.
Father does.
All right.
What happened is the child was definitely condemned on another thing.
Unfortunately, keep your question, but yes.
Another thing where the mother was
Next of kin. No. Give this to Liz. Nope. Unfortunately, it's the mother. What is inheritance? It would be the grandmother. And a lot of fathers fight the grandmother for that reason, but that is proper. You must get in your head. First and foremost, let me answer one question at a time for you, and then we can explain to you what grandmother. Because this is about. I want you to tell me, brother, what part of this word don't you get? INHERITANCE. Inheritance. Heritage. HERITAGE. That's her age. Hereditament. Things that will belong to her. Her. Father got her. Mother got her. Father and mother same. It's about inheritance. That thinking is patriarchal, which is what has destroyed our nation. Do you, Yeah. No, that's the change for you. All right. So, do you get that? I know it's hard. Fine. Okay. That's where our problem is. So we say again, this problem is that women need to step up to the plate to save the nation because the nation is in her womb. That's where the problem is because she is lacking. Because no matter whether we like it or don't like it, the truth is the condition of the child is determined by the mother. Savor that for 1 second. Don't think about daddy. Don't think about the sperm seed, the sperm. I know. But hear what I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to say it again. That's why it's so important. Hear me. The condition, which you're talking about, the child is really messed up now because mama don't know. The condition, bad condition as it is, the condition of the child is determined by the condition of the mother. Sad but true. It's not sad, but it is true. Because why? Yes, it is, but it is. That's why she needs to wake up. Because there's nothing on the planet that's going to change that. Because it's a state in nature. It's not going to change. And we all have hope. And they feel unfair to you. And I understand and they think, for the sake of the child. Okay, so you might have to repeat this every night. That's right. The condition of the child it is determined and based upon the condition of the mother. That's why they attack the mother, that she is so asleep. That's why on the cover of the 101, she's knocked out unconscious and her son is holding her up. Because it does seem unfair for the child. But the child is a product of the mother. Therefore, if she's in the mother's womb for 9 months, back to this, the law, getting all of the energies that she is giving her based on where mama is not, what angle she's in, what food she's eating, what part of the earth she's on, what angles is hitting her, who she's allowing to be energy around her, and then comes the child, which is a product of the left angle and width of the energies, right? That ain't never going to change. The condition of the child is based and determined on the condition of the mother, who is the very, 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 very first teacher of the child. And that cannot be changed.
go back to his brother because he looks like he still has
questions, like a lot of people would.
I think it would be interesting to bring them out if you're.
He just did.
No, you have more concerns, right?
No, he said it.
Say that again?
It's just hard to accept that reality. He needs the mic. All right. I know whoever's over here. Okay. Go ahead.
It's not questions of confusion.
Right.
It's just I don't understand it. So you're saying that now the next of kin is the grandparents.
Because it's based on mother. It's not based on father. It's based on mother. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say in the next scenario, the grandmother is, I don't want to say stuck in her ways and doesn't even want to know.
It doesn't matter whether she's stuck in her ways. So is the mother. She was stuck in her ways, or else she would have given a nationality to her child.
But see, the point that you're missing, and I hear, number one, many sons, if you're a son, you're not a father. You're a son. She's mother and father because you have to understand the etymology of that. So that's, look, and I know there's some sons in here, they're like, but let me say this. This is exactly because we don't want to grasp this. I mean, exactly why modern Europeans
take advantage of us.
Take advantage of us. A lot of you sons, I'm not going to ask you to do it, but I'm sure you yourself either have a challenge with it or you know somebody who has a challenge with child support. It is the biggest scam going on.
The biggest scam going on is child support. I want to repeat that.
Her child. And then you want to turn around in some cases and claim the offspring of modern Europeans. The problem is you can't claim either one because those mothers came here with those babies in their room already. That's biology. It's biology. But as long as sons don't want to absorb that major lesson, my Europeans will use you as revenue generators all day long. Now, I know I hear some sisters cackling about, what do you mean? They're supposed to take responsibility, and they should. But the responsibility of the son is to make sure that the family is protected. Period. And that's why we got that upper body strength. Her obligation is to make sure that she wakes up out of her sleep and goes and claims her best to stay so she can take care of all her babies, sons included.
Absolutely.
That's what the deal is. That's why when the question is asked, who is calling humanity, you got to know it's her. But I said, so a lot of you friends out there, you trying to wake your boy up.
And I tell you
something, he don't have no eggs in his womb. He ain't even got one. So we got to wake up the sisters so that we don't have what you're talking about. Right?
And because I know you, and because that type of thinking is what they, as you're saying, Sister Anita, is what they feed off of, meaning that you, like for instance, you just said, well, she's all messed up. I'm gonna prove that she's messed up. I didn't say that you said that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there are some sons who go that far. So we're just saying, and I'm going to prove that she's, and her grandmama, she ain't no bad either, and all this, right? But there you got to go prove to them and go make the mother, another sister, incompetent in order for you to get what you want. And that's what they want you to do, because once you make her incompetent, now they know they got you because they help you make her incompetent so that you can have the child. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now you're going to do whatever they want you to do. And guess what? If the mother is conscious and the father or the son, father, daddy baby, whatever, right? If he's not, No problem. I mean, the other way around. If she's conscious and he's not, they'll use him against her. So reverse it. If she's, did I say she's conscious? He's not. If he's conscious and she's not, she'll use them to help her get you, and that's why you got any given day, I call it any given Friday, where they pick up what they call deadbeat dads under the child support system, is because she did just that. She used them to come after you, and she was wrong. We would say right now she's absolutely 360 times 5 wrong for that.
Yes, and you know what else we need to look at, because you said, oh, she's out of her mind, She's out of her mind. Guess what? We have all been out of our mind, one point or another, and the goal of these modern Europeans is to make sure we stay out of our mind. Because if we were not out of our mind, this whole setup would not exist.
And now they're allowing, we could see that when they see 16, 19-year-old baby, the sons pushing a baby carriage just because it's his week to see the baby cut and crap. A child, an infant don't belong there. It belongs on a mother's breast. And this is what they're doing to destroy the family. I don't forgot. That's all right. Can you just put the mic so we can hear her?
That's how important that woman is.
Yeah.
Until y'all break this science down where we understand it.
Yeah.
Psychological, we have been messed up, and this is why we need these classes.
And there's an elder that you should listen to because he was able to make those changes. Now, Brother Giassi, you had a comment, and I got 2 over here. Is that correct? Oh, and no, their sister after you. Go ahead.
That's just Islam. I play advocate for those sons because I'm a son as well.
All right.
That would say, wait a minute, but that's my seed, though. Explain that to me.
Okay, I'm going to explain this to you next week when we show a big picture, but I'm going to give you a general idea. This is what Dave has this picture. If we have to send it around the class, we will. But this is what the X looks like. You see how big the X is for the X and the Y? Oh, I'm sorry, I got an extra leg on there. That's the X, right? You want to know how small, and I'm not exaggerating, the Y is? Like that. Actual picture from inside of what an X is and what a Y is. So that means that this seed that you have that you call semen is nothing but a piece of the 100% of DNA of the human, of man. It's just a piece. This is what I gave you. Because when you were in the womb, you were an egg, which means you were a female. Hello? Yes, accept it. Until the miracle child came, or the miracle happened, which happens in the womb, and she has seen you got between your scrotum. Right? I mean, just to get a general idea, you can generally see. You see how big that X is and how small that Y is? Huh? Can you get the idea there? Can you get the idea? Real talk, real picture. Sit down. Stop this foolishness. Do you see that? Do you see that? You don't see that. Sit down. I didn't mean sit down. Here, brother. Answer that. Yes, give it to the brother here. I do mean that because, look, listen, everybody knows that this X represents 100% of the human DNA, correct? Right. Correct? Yeah, correct. And everybody knows that this is a Y and he's missing a leg, correct? Correct. Well, then you're skipping along, you're going to do crazy things, we're going to call it a skippy movement, and we are willing to call it a skippy moment and keep it moving. Now, and let this thing do what it got to do. Do you understand that? I'm not being macho to you. I'm being man. Because I'm man and you're son of man. That's it. That's all. We got to accept that reality and stop this bull that we got going on that is harming our families and what is destroying our nation, which is family. And in questions, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. This is the X. This is the Y. You do need mics because we have people who are listening to you across the nation from corner to corner. Yeah, that's right. And they will not hear you, and then they will get upset with us that they couldn't hear you.
Aside from what I want to ask, I just want to tell people about child support, that if you don't work for 1 year, whatever size of money you owe, for instance, I ran into a friend, and he said he owed child support $47,000. Now he's out of work 5 months. I told him it doesn't pay for him to go back to work. Or let me stop that up. $11,400 within 1 year. You make under $11,000.
Yeah, they got a system for it, all that kind of crap. We're not buying into none of that. We're not buying into none of that because they don't have authority over you.
So, no, I'm just telling.
No, it's okay. He's saying that they got a scale now.
If you out of work 1 year, whatever size your bill is,
they adjust it.
Get capped down to $500, whatever. So, like, I got a friend that did his child support is $47,000. I said to him, "How long are you out of work?" He said 5 months. I told him, if you make $31 an hour, it don't even make sense for you to go back to work so fast because that $47,000 you can't make in 5 months.
Hold on. So if he's out of work for a year, then it'll go down to $500.
$500, or if you make less than $11,400
a year. Okay, so what they're trying to do is make you impoverished. Well, no, I'm not saying this to you. Please don't take it personally. We don't stand up here because it's, to be personal. Everybody's listening and everybody has the same questions. I appreciate the information you are sharing with us. But it doesn't really matter because they're still trying to make you impoverished and for you to be out of work for a week, for a year. And this is something that most sons have a problem with, in that respect. They don't want to be out of work for a year and feel worthless or whatever like that, even though they're not because they're out of work because you can create your own work. Because there's only 2 things in this world you can do. That is to sell a product, like, say, you sell these things, right? You give it to me, I give you the dollar, or sell a service. Like, so maybe you cut hair, maybe you cut grass, maybe you do whatever, paint. That's it, that's all. You ain't going to do nothing else for work because that's all there is on the planet. You're either going to do that for yourself or you're going to do that for someone else. And you don't need a license permission from them in order to do it. All right, that's it.
I want to say something to what you're saying. What you are promoting is actually
it's sharing good information.
What you just did was you actually promoted exactly what they wanted the sons to do.
Yeah.
Because psychologically, every son in here, I don't care who you are, y'all all have a problem if you can't generate some form of revenue. You have an even bigger problem if whoever she is in your life brings in more revenue than you do. So that's the psychological damaging that's going on. When the reality of the situation is that sons was always masters of one of the liberal arts. You were either a mason, a carpenter, an electrician. You were masters in that class. But now they have it so, in order for you to even be masters, so you think in that class, you got to go get a license when you never needed it to begin with. And then you don't stop long enough to find out why do you need to pay a complete stranger any kind of finance, because if you were to really look at it objectively instead of from an emotional place, you would find that they're acting as a debt collector. Well, who is it that you owe money?
Who's the debtor?
Who's the so-called creditor? And how do you owe them money? How? Does anybody did that research? I know there's got to be at least one brother in here that had some tangling with child support. Somebody, did you ever think who the heck is the creditor? You know what? Look at the mental conditioning. If Capital One came to you and said, you owe me some money,
you would probably know what to do, right? They're acting as a debt collector, right? Child support comes to you and says, you owe me some money. Everybody loses their mind. Start scrambling around, trying to figure out how to rob from Peter to pay Paul. You ain't even stopped once to ask, wait a minute, how do I owe anybody money? Because, see, whether the sister is in or out of her mind, they get finance so that she can take care of not just herself and her child.
But
she never needed a penny from her son. Never. The money comes down whether you're in the picture, on the paper, or not. It's going to be there because she exists. And they know she came here with all her babies in her womb. And they put, from an international perspective, it's right in the rights of indigenous people, whether she knows she's an Aboriginal indigenous or not, they get funding per head count, whether she has a baby or not. The finance is sitting there. It's just, and they got her going to you, and I'm not trying to, make you feel bad, but you're broke because you're not the heir. She is. But if we would just help her to wake up so she can claim her vast estate, we would all live free.
My second question was...
Also, domestic, yes, and also a husband needs houseminder. So really you're a domestic anyway to that extent that you are to provide and maintain the house, because what's a home that she runs, because she runs the house, you don't. That's another thing. Everybody knows that. We ain't got to go through that. Because if you have a situation, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. We all know that. So, but what's the most important thing is those children that come out of that home and go and people's society. So you are to find that. That's what husband is. House finder. It's one.
So being a Moor, we need our own money.
No, there is no such thing. Okay, what is money?
Well, my point is...
No, I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to let you get away with that. No, it's not that you should listen. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll help you get out. I'll help you get out. Are you aware of what money is? You just have to say yes or no.
No.
All right. Now, with that, I'm good. It's okay. It's all right, brother. I'm not going to hurt you. No, you got to be finished.
Go ahead.
Because the point, what you're saying, is based on false information. And it is absolutely of importance. Because first and foremost, that Federal Reserve note is not money. It's a check. It's space, all right? Secondly, according to the Constitution that you and I are supposed to be enforcing, we're not the ones that needed to have gold or silver, which is what it says is real money. Those foreigners, immigrants who are here in our land had to have it. We can trade in anything we wish to.
Okay. My problem was that about 20 years ago, I got some information on the Moor, but I've always been in settlement. So I was wondering, is it going to mess up my settlement, or is it going to stop me from getting non-profit organizations running?
I love your question.
You do know that non-profit is code for Christian corporation, right? I just need government money to run the schools I need to do. All right, the school is in her womb, so what is it that you think you're going to do?
I wanted to change money.
The school is in her womb.
Well, now, they're talking about getting funding.
I know.
For
schools. I want to do more schools, community.
Do you have a school now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a school now? I'm just
in my mind.
Oh, in your mind. Okay, let me ask you something.
I just got one thing to say to that.
Your school children?
Of course.
Oh, no, you're not, because the first teacher is her.
Well.
Nope, I'm sorry. Well, you are the exact example of what we talked about earlier. Hold on. You are the exact example, and it's not personal. I was just telling some people earlier and telling Dave, because they think they're going to start a school and go get some teachers that retired to actually teach the curriculum of that school. This information is not going to happen. The first school wrong is the womb. Listen to me. So this is why it's so important that what she is about is important. Because the nation is in her womb when she got here. Every little girl, if you got a daughter, or your older sister, or whatever, or your friend, she's walking around with the nation in the womb. You're not creating a nation. I didn't say you said you were, but there are not many sons who think they are. And it's a disrespect to her to think that they're going to start a nation when she's walking around with the nation in her womb. All she needs is a spark of electricity that could come from your sperm, or maybe don't have to. So, now, and that's true, that's right. Now, so she's the first teacher, so she got to teach this child in the womb as she's building the Solomon's temple, the soul of man's temple, right? Which is the body, right? You follow me? All right. In the silence, in the darkness, with no hands and no toes, which is the womb. Then it's time for the baby to come out. The waters have risen, right? And the baby comes out, right? And it gets cut from her navel to become a navigating navel upon the earth plane. And if the teaching doesn't come from that point forward, you ain't teaching jack.
Well, what I'm saying is this.
What are you going to teach? Do you know your history? Do you know your heritage?
That's what I'm trying to get across to you, because it don't need parents to doing the job that, let me finish. If there are no parents, we still got to educate children.
How are there no parents? How did you get to the point where there's no parents?
This is where they have child care at the job site or wherever it's at. We need to start implicating without the parent. If the parent ain't going to listen, just like this man's going through, let's put education there for children to start learning.
Okay, well, nobody seems to disagree with that.
And I'm saying more, and then how do you get it funded or however to make this move? Because if you say you're by yourself and you're in your own state, now you're going to...
Stop. You need to pull on the brakes right now. What the hell do you mean by yourself in your own state? The government is the people. So how do I become by myself in my own state? Where did you get that from? Somebody told you that. Let's be honest. We're going to use you as an example here. We're going to love you when we're done.
Right.
Okay, because we love you now. But what do you mean? What was that? You're your own state and you're by yourself.
Okay, this brother I met 20 years ago told me...
What's your sister?
No, brother.
All right. There's brother.
I said, well, listen, I don't know the fine print.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. Tell us.
I don't want to mess up my suit, because I got discrimination cases going on. And I said, I know it's got to be something, because how is inside this country going to allow people going to allow a state of people to come about? So I said to myself,
come about we always been.
I understand that. And then I'm saying, well, where the schools at? Where are they going to start implicating this school? Because this is a great for a black school for me.
Black school?
Well, this is how I'm feeling.
All right, I'm going to tell you it right now. I'm going to tell you right now. I got to tell you this right now.
Go ahead.
You will be the last person. Now, everybody be quiet. You will be the last person that I and many other people who are in degree, whatever conscience is, would want to teach their children, especially because you're calling them black. And now, the reason you're calling them black is very well understood, but that's what has kept them from being taught thus far, because they lack any connection to any contribution. Let me just say this to you. The history and the contributions of Moors to the world is world history. You understand?
Right.
It's world history. In order to know your history, you have to know European history, because that's world history, and you're the original. We are the ones who brought Europeans into the fold in the first place and gave them and seeded them land that we call Europe. And her name was a queen, a sister, not a black. Named Queen Europa. You understand that?
Yeah.
I know you wasn't taught that, and so that's what has to be taught to be. And unless you know that, you are the prime example of why you can't go teach Jack until you know. Now, you are people who do know, but this teaching is not like any teaching because it's history and heritage, and it's world history. You understand what I'm saying? And we were not taught that. So we want to go into this. We want to go into this with the frame of mind that the Europeans gave us, and that's why it won't work. And you are showing it and proving it 109%. But it's all good. And the reason it's all good is because if you know anything about the true history of yourself, that you're not black, never were, right? Okay, I'll tell you what. Talk about schools. Okay, I'm going to do this, and then we're going to move on because that's dragging us back that way. But it's all good. But it's all good. Listen, I'm going to give you this because you're going to have a school. There's such a thing as a noun, right? Which is person, place, and thing, right? Proper. Then there's such a thing as a verb, right? Which is an action. Then there's such a thing as an adjective that describes it, right? Go ahead. So here's the lesson, and then we're going to end it. This is a jacket. Proper noun, right? It looks like it's blue. Let's say blue. So now, let's call it black. Let's call this black. We're going to pretend that this is a black jacket, right? So now, it's a jacket. That's the proper name, proper person, place to say proper. And it's a black jacket. So is it a black or is it a jacket?
Okay, it's a jacket.
Thank you. Does the black describe it or is the black it?
The black describes it.
Okay, so can people be black? No, thank you. So don't ever, listen to me, I'm giving you in love. Don't ever call your people black again because you cursed them, which is what the European has done, cursed them. And the reason they did it is because black has no nationality, which means there's no laws to protect you, because you're not going to give no damn funding for black people. You're going to get funding, if you get any funding, for a Christian organization. Do you understand? A tag of some kind that they call nonprofit. That's what you're going to get. Now, why is that important? Because you need to read the Ithaca Terra Divina, which is the Christian's divine intent, which was to kill you. All right, that's all we're going to do right now with you. We're going to give you the Ithaca Terra Divina book. We're going to give you the Ithaca Terra Divina book gift before you leave. And then next week, we want to see you back here and tell me what you think of that. You want to run to school? I just gave you some homework.
Yes, I hear that. Well, I want you to say that just in case anybody was trying to get a question out, as soon as they get the question out, you break it up and start telling them, well, this is not the right way to say this. I lose my whole point when I'm trying to reach you at.
What are you trying to reach me for? What
I'm saying is this. I'm getting the point that you can go get government money for just you.
For those of African descent.
For African descent.
Okay, they're not black people.
Okay, for African descent.
You got to be specific because black is, you got to be specific, teacher.
Yes.
You can't tell me that you're a teacher and going to open a school and you can't be specific.
Yes, you're right.
Don't blame that on me because I am a teacher or because my mama was a teacher.
Stress in mind. Okay, that's a lot to do with it too. So I just want to get the point out. Why are they going to start some type of, just like you see daycare for children? Why isn't there some kind of starting some type of, I would like to start some type of daycare, start implicating our history, to educate ourselves, so that we don't have to worry about getting the mother at 50 years old.
Oh, my God, why would you want to eliminate, give me that 50 years old. Okay, but how are you going to eliminate the parent from it?
Because if the parents are home going to work and the children are learning, there could be organizations out learning to educate our people.
Oh, sure.
That's what I'm
sure. Listen, okay. Moorish elementary school's been here for 9 years. Do you want to know why we were here? To produce teachers that would teach. You know most of them go off and do their own thing? Yeah, I know you do. They go off and they're going to do their own thing. So here it is 9 years later, we don't have any qualified teachers because everybody wants to go do their own thing instead of looking at what's already there. And
that's my point I'm telling you right now.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Listen, if somebody didn't even want thinking of a format which you have done in 9 years, you're already seeing problems taking off. I would put some other kind of plan within 9 years.
I can't change the history and the information, brother. It's not going to be changed. This is because we are following humanity, and that's what we do with each other. That's why that happens. I know what you're thinking, but that's why that happens. And until you recognize that, you can't fix the other thing.
You got to make it very interesting for everybody who's sitting here. I got business for everybody sitting here.
Oh, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. You just, really, this is not so, you have wasted our time. You don't know this. Why do you have business? You don't even know the difference between a verb and an adjective, and you're talking about starting school. Now you're going to say you got business. What you selling? Because, see, we as Moors are the original merchants of the entire planet. What merchandise do you have that's business? Because business, what do you got? What business you got? Talk to me. No. Answer the question. You said I got business.
Education house, just what I just said there with child support. Somebody spent $27,000 because they didn't know.
What you're selling is misinformation, and you're trying to call it education. You're trying to show.
No, he said that he proved it.
You're trying to show them
I didn't say people were lazy. I didn't say that. They're not teachers.
Okay, whatever. But it's not really something of 9 years.
Oh my God! You missed it for 9 years. This isn't about business. No. See, what you need to bring in business one table.
Business has to come about the education.
Really?
See, what you're talking about is a European mentality.
I got to get up in the morning and go to work.
Hold on, everybody, because this guy is really, you just mixed business with education and then talked about going to your job. Let me tell you something. You just said it. You just said that. Education is from within. No one can educate another. Did you not know that? Now, here's why I'm going to, again, go look up the word education so you can find out what it really means. And stop missing your words and your purpose and your intent. And once you know what it really is, you might know what you really mean. Because right now, it's not me saying this, but he's all over the place, is he not? And anybody listening will know you're all over the place. Come on. You're the only one that doesn't recognize that you're all over the place. Because one, you haven't looked up what money really is. That's just an example. Two, you need to go look up what education really is, and then you need to find out what business really is. Period. That's all. Then come back and have a conversation. Because you're mixing things, and you don't realize it. And that's why you're going to have a problem wondering if you honor your mothers and fathers who are absolutely, unequivocally, no doubt about it, recorded in congressional records, Moors, whether or not you will get something or not. So we want to tell you because you just now wasted a lot of time with us. You did. Not that you don't respect what you're saying. I said you don't know. That's why you're confused. I mean, that's why you're mixing stuff.
I'm asking a question. I'm being raised.
You're the one who said that you want to start a school, which is really, really disturbing. Because you didn't even know what money was, nor did you know what education means. And you don't know that you are not going to take children from their parents. You're trying to take the system of education and make it a business. If not, if I got $1 million, and I want you to go. All right, hey, I'm done. Listen to me. I'm going to say it one more time, and then I'm going to, and you really need to just do whatever you want to do. Education is not a business. Education comes from within. It's nothing that anyone can give you. All right, done. Go look at it for yourself.
People are getting paid to teach. People got to get paid for child care. It's nothing but a business. The jail is a business.
Education with jail now. She's speaking, assistant speaker. We don't play that shit here.
You're mixing a so-called education system with a prison system.
Yeah.
The only thing you can say about the two is somebody got to get paid. Really, you say it's a business. You know what?
Right.
What you're saying, what you're displaying is a European mentality, where you are using the people as human resources.
That's incredible. Hell no. He doesn't realize it's like telling that we filled up and we ain't throwing them out.
If you look, there's a book back there. It's called the 8th grade educational test. What is it? The educational test. That's in 1856. We put all of our children in one room. We put all of our children in one room, and we taught them to the point where today you probably can't even answer those questions that our children in one room, different grade levels, was able to answer and more. And you're sitting here trying to say, oh, us Moors, not you, because I understood by something you said that you're not counting yourself as a Moor. But you're going to take the Moors, Aboriginal indigenous people of this land, and you're going to create a European school system so that somebody can engage in capitalism, which you probably think this country was founded on, and it was not. All right? If you didn't know that, go and listen to Pope Francis. I'm not an advocate of the foreign immigrant, but he did say that this is the, land of the, home of the brave, land of the free. Free. He didn't say this is a land of business. He said this is the land of the free. Now, if you go back in the history of this country, the people, the Aboriginal indigenous people of which you are a part of, you will find that we didn't run after money, real money, gold, silver, rubies, emeralds, gems. We wore them as an energy conductor. We didn't have to exchange it to get anything because this is our vast estate. And the sooner all of us get this in our head, the sooner we will all be free. Now, you want to sit there and talk about you're a pseudo merchant, and you don't even know the history of real people who were the master merchants.
Who were the original merchants.
You guys are people. We were masters in the spice trade. That means we had to know how to cultivate the spice. We needed to know how to grow the earth so that we can then cultivate it, so that we can have a monopoly, not because we wanted to, but because we knew how to change ginger into a spice that you can transport across the land. We knew how to take bricks and build buildings with today. We don't even know how we built them because we lost that information. Islam?
I don't know now. Exactly. But here's the thing. But I'm saying you put this something up because you did. Yeah, we did. You know how we did. Not only. No, I'm not fire, brother. I'm going to teach our people. What do you think? No, we're going to teach our people. So you thinking that we have to hire them?
We got
charity. How do you get?
We got 18 minutes left.
How do you divide and get this rolling?
You mean because financially?
How do you do it?
Because you what?
Everything I see is business with people. Since
that is your problem. And guess what?
You make it.
Guess what? But if I gave you the answer, you wouldn't be able to receive it, and that's real clear. So I'm not going to say anything else to you about it because you can't get it. So what? So what?
So it's okay.
Islam.
And in years, 10 years, we educated.
Oh, do you think this is all I do? Is that what you think?
That's not what I'm saying.
No, that is what you say. Oh, that is what so. And where you're running.
Right.
Or not.
Right.
Or not. What's your point?
How do we educate the young?
You know what?
It can't be that we got.
You know what? You bred everything down from a European mindset, my son. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to you right now. It might be in 3 days. It might be in 3 months. But what I just said to you, one day you're going to say, damn, now I know what she meant. Even if you don't get it now. And that's the end of that. And so if you think that you can do something other, different, or better, right, that has to do with this information without even knowing who I am, what I do, and what I do outside of here, because you don't know, you are making an assumption. And that's your problem. Yes, you made it. Class. By its own way, did he make assumptions regarding all of us, and especially me just now? Thank you. End of story. Period. We're not talking to you no more. We got 18 minutes left to our thing. Did you have something to say? I bet you did, because, you know, that's why we don't get nowhere. Right there. Go do you, bro. Go do your business.
Islam, brothers and sisters. This is like on the flip side of what he was saying about the sister's unconscious and the state of her carries over to the child, right? Now, what if the mother is naturalized, has been naturalized?
Naturalized or nationalized?
Naturalized. Like, not, like, I mean, yeah, like through a process of naturalization.
Okay. Who do you know that does that?
I'm just saying, you know, it happens. Like, does that have any standing on?
But Moorish, Aboriginal indigenous people don't naturalize. They declare their nationality, which people call it nationalized, but really nobody nationalizes anybody because it's an awareness within yourself. So when you say naturalize, I just want to know what in your mind that reference is so that I can answer it. Is it someone you know that's Moorish that naturalizes people?
Nah,
or you just assuming that naturalizes? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
If you look up the word naturalization, you will clearly see that it says it is for those who are brought into the United States of America. You're not a citizen of the United States of America because this is the American land.
Got it.
This is about American law. So the only person who could be naturalized, when a person is naturalized, they're coming into the United States of America, just like you saw Michelle Obama do 3 weeks ago. She told those people that the 57 people who signed the Declaration of Independence were not Americans. She told them that they were not Americans, but they were being naturalized into the United States of America. She made it clear. You understand? So naturalization is not something that a Moor, who's Aboriginal indigenous to his ancestral state, which is this American land, could ever do.
So to a Moor, it's just a matter of waking up.
It's just a matter. This is what Prophet Noble Drew Ali said. If you don't do anything else, declare your nationality. Now you got to look what declare means. It means to be clear yourself. Yes, sir. That is it. That is all. So that's why there's no process really for it. It's just to make a judicial, public, lawful notice and put people on notice that you have awakened, which is what Moors have done in the condition they're in, whether they got money, real money, you know, or not. That's what they have to do first. And I just said that you have to do, period. So that whatever you approach yourself into, be it a contract or be it whatever it is, you come into it in your proper person status and not in the condition of belonging to a jurisdiction or corporate entity which has control over what you can do, what you can have, what you can say, what you can't say, and whether or not they're going to give you funding that you don't really need. And contracts, basically. It's a matter of nationalizing, but it doesn't really exist. There's no such thing as we are going to nationalize you, because no one can nationalize you because it's a mind awareness thing, to be clear. That's all that it really is. You see what I'm saying? So this is why Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, if you don't do anything else, declare your nationality. It says if you don't do nothing else, that means be clear of it yourself. Now, proclaiming it is written. Declaring it, you can stand up right in yourself, right here, right now, at home, the map, or whatever, and declare to yourself, be clear about you. But proclaiming it means to put it in written form, which is why we say, look, there's a judicial notice, and the collecting the name, is here's an appellation, and here's where you need to send it to. We'll put the government seal on it because we're attacking this. However, the government is the people. There is no representative government, which is what the republic is, but that's for the foreigners. You know what I mean now?
Right.
Yes.
Islam family. It is a declaration. You stand up like, I'm not black, I'm not African American, I'm not Negro or colored. I am a Moor. I am what my ancestors were and will be without and is without doubt a contradiction. I am the pyramids, the ones who built the pyramids, the ones who brought to the Europeans the Renaissance, all that's ours. Mathematics, science, all that comes from our ancestors. The problem with us is we don't know that. You know what I'm saying? And we've been stuck so long with being black and I don't say this to be rude or coming down, but we've been brainwashed. The average person, they say, I'm a black person. Well, black means that you're dead in the eyes of the law. You're outside of the constitutional code. This is why the police can shoot you and kill you, and they can get away with it, because actually you're three-fifths of the person, and you're not part of the Constitution, which our ancestors wrote the Constitution called the Law of the Great Peace. This is where they got it from. This is Northwest Amexem. Before, it only became like America because George Washington wrote the Sultan to ask the newcomers on these shores. And when the Sultan sanctioned them, he sanctioned Betsy Ross to do the flag, which comes from the red flag with the 5 degrees down the center. Peace.
Islam. Now, without knowledge of that, you would not know. You ain't teaching nothing. You don't need to get no funding to teach nothing either, because that's what it's about. So now it's first, like I said before, it's divide. Did you have a question? Are you okay now? All right. Can you bring the mic to the sister right here, please? Well, I'm gonna do this before we close out anyway. But go ahead. The mic's behind you to your left.
I want to go back to when you were talking about the SSI. How will you know? I'm giving money. Well, they took money from me, like about maybe $700 earlier this year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fees.
I wanted to look over the on the radio.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, they took about $700 and something from me and told me that I was fine and that there was no need for me to continue with the amount that I was receiving.
Are they determined for you what you needed? What you need, just to move this along because time.
Right.
They determined for you what they thought you needed to take care of yourself,
exactly.
Which, by the way, was less than what you had before.
Way less.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, so what I wanted to know was how would I be able to know if they're correct about that, and what can I do about it, because I don't really know. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I do.
That's a fake system that they put together. Social Security is really not. First of all, you have to know for a fact without a shadow of a doubt. If you go to them, they'll tell you really if we would just ask. They are a private. They are a social. They are an insurance. They are an insurance. That's an insurance policy. They're a private corporation. They're not government. They never were. We believe they were, but they're not.
But they took.
And it's not that they're not government because we found out we're Moors and that that ain't why. They never were. We believe they're government. So now here they are telling you, after you put into this insurance policy that you work, because that's what it is, oh, by the way, you're retired, but I don't think you should get this much. I want to give you less. What can you do with that? I mean, it's really like, what is that? All right, next question.
They had me paying for IRS because
they are also, hold on, the IRS is also not the government. They have us believing they're the government, but they're not the government. They are a private corporation, period, and they are an accounting firm. Excuse me, brother. You're not going to come here and do that, You might not ever want to come back again, all right? They are a part, like what I just said about them not being government, just goes off the top of your head. You can't even believe that, can you? Can you? Tell the truth. Just tell the truth because you represent so many people. You can't even believe that. No. I say to you when I say to her about Social Security being not government, to Do you know that? Do you believe that? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right.
But it's 3 years that they account for when you get ready to retire.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right, that's it. Now I shouldn't have engaged you. So, they're not the government. They're not the government, but there's 3 years that they can account for, blah, 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 in doing if you last 3 years, that we tell you that you was put into that insurance policy, and they, that's all right. And I apologize for reviewing you. And then you're a good example. And then from that they do their calculating. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But they're not the government. They are an insurance policy. Give me an example. They never were the government. They never, ever, ever were the government. Okay. Another thing, like the health policy thing, you got to pay into that. But see, if people were listening or studying, they would see that Obama, when he wrote that health thing, page 107, he said if you are Islamic, which really means the Aboriginal indigenous people, because this country is built on the Islamic code and not Christian code, if you know that, that's in the congressional record. If you didn't read the congressional record, you won't know that. So he said that if you're that, you don't have to pay into the health. So when people come in and say, well, they're making me pay the health, and they're making me get this shot. Oh, you just have to claim your religion, and it's over. It's already scribed for you. But if you don't know that, you won't know that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we got to move that.
I just want to know what should I do, because I think that they're crooked.
You want to continue to get the insurance policy? I guess you would have to open up some sort of claim with them to ask how they calculated your stuff, because they're just taking your stuff back again. And if they based it on like you said, they were taking it a certain amount, giving you a certain amount, but now they reduced it. Well, that's because, let me tell you why they reduced it if you really want to know the true math. Not their listen, if you really want to know why they did it instead of their calculation methods that some people are really good at understanding because they're mathematicians, it is because Social Security is based off of the finances that people put in while they're working. Now, the truth of the matter is, because math don't lie, is that there's a lot of people who aren't working as it used to be. So, of course, they're not going to have the same funds on top of the fact that they've spent a lot of it because they based it on the fact that people will be working, and they're not working. And in addition, people are not buying into or putting into or making voluntary contributions into the Social Security voluntary fund. Because Social Security and IRS, whether you know it or not, is voluntary. How many people know it's voluntary? Great. It's voluntary because you've done the work to find out.
It's not mandatory.
It's voluntary instead of mandatory. What happens is when you go to the job, they're supposed to post up that it's voluntary, right? We got the post. It's on the site. If you want to take the time to study it instead of studying this European bull crap that they've been putting and shoving down and in your head all this time, which keeps you suppressed for some. So what they're supposed to post up on the wall that says that it's voluntary, they don't post up on the wall when you go to the job because they don't want you to know them, but they're supposed to post it. Have you ever read it? That FSN is voluntary and IRS is voluntary contributions? Just yes or no. Have you ever seen it? You've never seen it? All right, my point right there. Go to RVBey Publications on the About Taxes page and read it. Now, anybody else got a question? What is yours about?
It's general. All right, let's keep this quick. I'm just asking about child support. I'm not going into calculations or nothing like that. The fact of the matter is this. I heard the standing, he said that it's basically fraud, right? It's the whole thing. So now, with that being said, I'm understanding that would be considered a bill of exchange or bill of attainder?
Yeah, bill of attainder, which is forbidden.
So now, how do we nip that in the bud and
by having knowledge that it's a bill of attainder and pursuant to the Constitution, which is the law of the land, and as we are supposed to enforce the Constitution, which none of us do because many of us don't because we don't even know. It's just, like I just said, the thing that says that IRS contributions and SSN contributions are voluntary. How many people knew that? Not very many. So therefore, we're not going to enforce it in our actions because we have no knowledge of it, which is what our problem has been, and which is why even Yahshua, if y'all don't mind on the front seat, can y'all go somewhere else with that? And which is why even Yahshua said that my people perish for what? A lack of knowledge. So if you don't know it, you can't enforce it. Same thing with what you're asking. Because we have not enforced the Constitution, nor do we know it, we therefore can't make those changes until we do. And guess what? It's not going to happen until we do. Until we enforce the law of the land, which was established by our ancestors, now Europeans, we allowed them to come here. That's a fact. They didn't teach you that because they don't want you to know it. And now you're beginning to know it, and now they want to squash it. Sometimes they send agents to your shit to make sure it gets squashed. You know, or they'll send, not that we care about that because nobody's doing nothing wrong, or they'll send people who show you just how much they've been brainwashed and they're in pain. They know that we need to fix something, but they're not sure. And they got all this stuff with them that they want to offer, and that's good. But you got to go have a exorcism of that shit first, and then a baptism with the real information that's going to affect the future and the generations that's coming, because the generations that coming, and some of them that are still here, they don't take no prisoners. It's not, but let me finish this. Where's the sister? Did she leave? All right. I just got to show this, and then we can close out. I was saying about the elements and the energies, because that's all that we have. So Aries is a fire sign, right? Where's the next one? Sag, right? Where's the next one? Leo, right? And then you go like this, right? And minimum, those are harmonious because they're all fire. So this is why this symbol right here is the symbol of really, that's the pyramid, right? Right? And it's the symbol of ancient, it's an ancient symbol of civilization, which is why the pyramid that you see on the contract with that dollar bill, right, that Federal Reserve note, is shaped, it is the pyramid. The pyramid is not the Illuminati, it's not something that's some, and never was the Illuminati, it's not some evil wicked thing. It is the symbol of civilization based on harmonies of life, and that's why if I just showed you, what I showed you was the fire harmony, right? I could take any other element and show you the same thing. Check it out. Now let's do the earth element. Here you got Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, back to Taurus. You see it? And then, hold it. I should have done that. I should have done the air one. Why? Why should I have done the air one? Let me just change this real quick and do the air one because air and fire is complementary, correct? So if I then change this to the air triplicity of harmony, I go Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, back to Libra. Now what did I just do? And this is why, let me tell you now, this is why you have Aries. See that? What's that look like? That look like that daggone Star David they call, right? But it's really the Hex Alpha. It's just the Hex Alpha. The Hex Alpha. As above, so below. That's what it really is, not what they tell you that it is, because this represents the perfect union, of course, in perfect geometrics, of the male and female energies, which fire and air are incoming, alcohol and incoming, and earth and water are incoming. The perfect energies, once blended together with the harmonies, you would create this union right here. That's you and the male and female energy. So now y'all perfectly made it, which is why you need astrology to find out that water ain't going to make it with fire. You can try hard if you want to, but why stress your life for that? So therefore, for real, while all the other stuff is going on, so therefore, if you two are in perfect harmony, then whatever children you bring out, the offspring will be. But if you two are not in perfect harmony, trying to make something go down and it ain't going to go down. I don't know. I can't even draw imperfect. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Then what do you expect to come out of that union? You see what I'm saying? So back to the fact that it's all about the energies, and let's just say this. as it relates to who you lay down with, because sister, it don't matter who you lay with. It don't matter whether you get quote unquote impregnate that or spark that egg that you came here with. When you lay and have that sexual energy, which is one of the very strongest energies, creating energy, right? You are creating an entity of energy, if nothing else, whether you get pregnant or not. You're bringing that energy in around you. So you got to be careful, both the sun and the male and female, who you're laying with, because that's the energy you're bringing. This is real talk right here that they didn't want you to know about. And that's why this is so important to learn this right here. Because, look, like we said, as the book said below, that goes even deeper than that, right? Because now, again, back to the trinity of yourself. If you already are screwed up because you are created, a power symbol was being established while in the womb without proper, knowledge of conceiving and like that, right? And, okay, now you got a child that comes out that's got a fire, sun, and a water, something else, like that, right? And it gets kind of crazy. I'm going to rush it through because we got to close, but do you get the understanding of why family planning starts with her and starts with that? Because one thing going with is all the energies. That's law. It's manifested in the flesh, which is the 5-pointed star. Now we get to these other symbols because man must learn by signs and symbols also, right? By signs and symbols, which is why they got you thinking that the Great Seal pyramid is some Illuminati devil stuff when it is not. It's not. So you didn't learn by this sign and symbol. They wanted to make sure you think it's something that it is not. Right. See, so that you won't permeate towards it unless you just, devil worship it. That's not the case. So all law manifested in flesh, left angle with, it's manifested in the flesh is all law. All that red garment, all law. Manifested in flesh. 1 degrees. From head to heel. It's every the head, Taurus, Gemini. Then you have Cancer, the breath, Leo, the heart and circulation, and then you have Virgo, which is the stomach, which analyzes the food and your thoughts. It's the analyzer of thoughts. Just like you eat food and your intestines analyze the food, well, also Mercury, which rules Virgo, that rules that part, also rules your mind, the thoughts, energy, thought, Mercury, right? Communication, right? Gemini, right? Ability to communicate or not. And so it's analyzing thoughts. Because it's through your thoughts that you manifest your reality. And so when you stand wherever you are, whatever you say, you're manifesting your reality. Don't bring that shit to me. That's your reality. So now, and we have to collectively manifest that. Okay. So now after you do that, now you're midway in the body, right? Balance. What you start with? Labor. What you look like? 2 kidneys on either side, balancing what? Towards the flush the body. That's the balance. That's my eye. That's labor. That's business. That's all right? Kidneys. Next you got why you want Miss Scorpio with the sexual reproductive organs. You got labor. So some 30 degrees, another 30, 60. Now we're going down from Libra, which is half point, right? We got Libra, and then we got that Scorpio. We miss Scorpio, which is the phallic, which is why the symbol for Scorpio sticks out like this, because that's another thing we go through that too. Why do you think this sticks out? Because it represents the male phallic, the house. Actually, it represents the outgoing energy as opposed to Virgo, which has a leg slope, and look at that, come back in, because that's also the intestines. This is real science here, real symbols, because man must learn by signs and symbols as well. And that's what this is. So they tell you, don't listen to this, because this is that stuff, so that you won't understand yourself and what this is really truly all about. So now you got the body, right? You got the scorpion with the sexual reproductive, 8th house of life and regeneration. Then you got the Sagittarius, which is the thighs, which is the cavity that holds up the lower self. You see? Now you got the knees, which is Capricorn. Right? And then you got the calves, which is Aquarius, to the ankles. And then you got the base of the whole thing, which is the feet, which is Pisces. That's like feet. That's like standing on feet right there. Standing. Do you get it now? There's so much more to get, but it's so exacting. Because we don't have knowledge of ourselves. We don't have knowledge of science. We don't have knowledge of the universe. And we have all been brainwashed to a European mindset. And it's nasty and dirty by design. So that means this. I see your hand up, brother, in the back. Just 1 second. That means this. Let me share it with you. All of our energies, yes, they are one. Until this is realized, we will never be together as a people or culture as humane. Do not wait for your energies to become one. Know that they already are, yet they seem to be defected, like magnets at polar opposites. And that is, so be that of your mind at times when it does seem to slip away. Your mind slip away. So, you say you suffer humanity. Somebody must be afraid somewhere, somehow. The powers are in fact in your mind. This is not a system thing. It is a mind thing. Your thought is the most powerful weapon you have. And the moment you stop thinking that money is everything, it is the moment you will have everything you need. To brainwash or to wash your brain is to destroy billions of thoughts and thought processing that has been passed down strongly through the years. A day is 1,000 years, 1,000 years is a day, and you are in the 7th day. And when the work was done, they returned, because you're always in the 7th day, because there ain't nothing but 7. You got that? Cycle 7. And when the work was done, they returned to take vengeance on all those who simply did not see or did not come into the light. One warning is all you will get, just one. And if you do not heed that call shall not heed you. So guess what? You'll never know. But yet you must know. You must know the legend, because knowledge is power and information is source, Islam. With that, hold on. I got to take advantage of an opportunity that I see right here now real quickly. Is on here? Yeah? Okay. All right. I got to do this. Remember when I told you we mentioned that, Yeah, I know, but I got to give this out right now. I already gave it. I'm not reading it because I already read it. Anya. It's under here. Blue Taz is in here, right? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, listen. We've been giving out awards. We're very, 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 very proud of the fact that we managed to exist for complete 9 years. 9 years in this place. Every Wednesday. Believe me, it wasn't easy. And I do trust that somebody got something out of it. But I want to say this. And then we got to close because I'm running into the time. Here it is. I got to read this real quick. The MHH excerpt from the Secret Teachings of the Brotherhood of the East, Chapter 4. And Barakia said, your words are seasoned with the salt of wisdom that is from above. Who is the teacher who has opened up this truth to you? And Yahshua said, I do not know any teacher who has opened up this truth for me. It seems to me that truth was never shut, that it was always opened up. For truth is one, and it is everywhere. And if we open up the windows of our minds, the truth will enter in and make herself at home. For truth can find her way through any crevice, any window, and any open door. The rabbi said, what hand is strong enough to open the windows and the doors of our minds so the truth can enter in? And Yahshua said, it seems to me that love, the golden cord that binds the 10 Commandments in one, is strong enough to open any door so that truth can enter in and cause the heart to understand. Now, this is a 9-year acknowledgement. This record affirms that RVBey has assisted at the Moor Heritage and History School held at New York, the Empire State. This acknowledgement comes at the completion of the school's 9th year in association and conjunction with over 745,000 visitors at RVBey Publications website and over 120,000 listeners of the MHH Eyes Wide Open Blog Talk radio programs. We thank you for your assistance in uplifting fallen humanity. However, the universe definitely thanks you more women. Oh, there he is. Thank you, brother. All right. Last, gotta get this out, because y'all know we've been giving out these things for a while. To be so, 9 years, man, I had to think about everybody and try not to leave out anybody. So here we go. Yeah. All right, I got this special one. Y'all heard it, right? About the new skins. You know how the prophet said you can't put old wine and new skins? No, new wine and old skins. Excuse me, new wine and old skins. But the truth of the matter is, tell me if I'm not right, this information is not new wine. It really is old wine. And it can go very well into new skin. All right? So it's called the new skin. And this record affirms that I'm... Oh, wrong one. Okay, go ahead. I got the wrong one. One of my first women muftis, as I call it, that was her, and she's not here. Her mom passed, and she's having some problems, some situations. But, we have women muftis. You know how tough we women are, right? We taught them how to use, sons how to use, do combat. Y'all do know that. Amazon women, amazing. That's why they can't be. So here it comes. This record affirms that Anya, Elia, Zeta, Asia Bay, I mentioned this before, but she's here tonight, and that's why I'm doing this. And where did she go? Oh, there she is an exemplary new skin. You know what I said? Exemplary new skin of an ancestor return, and she has assisted Moorish Heritage in History School Radio and Moorish Heritage in History School held here at New York, the Empire State. This acknowledgement comes at the completion of the school's 9th year. We already said that, and she got a little notebook. This is for you. We love you. I love you. Listen, this is a young sister. Yeah, no, I'm not going to tell her age, but she's really young, been married a year or two, 20-something. Let's put it that way. And when we started doing the blog talk shows, she went right into the chat room, was on it. Y'all had any questions? She knew exactly where to go. She would find the room. We didn't ask her to do that. She did it on her own because she's invested in the information. And she's young, so she's the new skin of the generation of which this is for. This is for the young and yet unborn. Because all this shit's going to come to a halt. All of this business, all this corporation, everybody knows it's going to come to a grinding halt if it hasn't already. And it has in many cases. And when it does, it's coming back in the hands of the Aboriginal Indigenous people, which are more. So what we do need is we do need to learn some things. We do need to have information bestowed to us, but for those reasons, not for any other reason. You know what I mean? We're the original merchants. We will always be the original merchants. What's your merchandise? With that, oh, wait, oh, my gosh. Hold on. Yes, that too. How can I forget? Come in. One more, and then we got to go. I can't tell. Oh, my God. But I'll leave some here. Huh? That's Philadelphia? That's the Philadelphia class? Oh, no, this isn't here. Already. I interviewed yours, right? Yeah. One more, everybody. Just please have some patience for 1 second. It's in there. Okay, all right. All right, now, tell me what your phenomenon is. Only a few people we gave 5,000 for. Brother Gene, Carmen, they've been here since the inception. Right, give one another hand. And another person that's been here from the inception also is Brother Ali Kareem Bey. Listen to this. This record affirms that Ali Kareem Bey assists the Moor churches in History School of New York, the Empire State, and is an elder of the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs. This acknowledgement comes at the completion of the ninth year in association with over 745,000 and yada yada. This is for you because you are the elder from bringing the knowledge from the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, and oftentimes you will do our invocation out, as I assume you're going to do tonight. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to know?
I do.
That's between you two. I don't care. Oh, anybody here for the first time? Here you go. That's for you. Anybody for the first time? Back in the back, right there. And sister first, sister. We give everything else to sister. Oh, another sister over here. Oh, I hope you enjoyed the class. All right, good. All right, I'm glad you came with the brother there because, many times family, like we do the cards and stuff, when I see that it's a mate situation, I'm like, wow, that's great. Because if they get together, they're going to have a family, they already got it together. You're not fighting him. He's not fighting you. You know what I mean? It's fine. Anybody else for the first time tonight? Over in the back. All right, keep your hand raised. And are you ready? I might have to stand. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Right here. Let's talk about here. So, please give him some information. We know he needs some information. Don't he need some information, everybody? Huh? Oh, you can get. I didn't think you said that. You don't know who's going to tell you. You really should go on about that. Yeah. We need a mic on Brother Arnold. Please give him a mic. Hold on, you don't have to love yourself too much. Hold on. Brother Arnold has something to say.
We're a young brother that's been coming here for many years. He's on critical life support, St. Luke Hospital. Okay? We've been able to write up some paperwork to save his house in the Mount Moor Park area here. So if you want to contribute $1 or something, we're looking to help each other. Each other. That's what it's all about. Get a little knowledge, pass it on. So if you want to help this brother and his family, with losing the house, so we've been able, with some Moorish brothers, Moorish law, we've been able to save this house.
Wonderful. All right. All right. Thank you.
Beautiful.
This is working too, though.
No, it's not working. Oh, not working.
It's working for me all night. All right, maybe it's out, but that's what matters.
All right. Islam. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Repeat after me. Allah, Father of the universe. Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, through Ali, also known as Sheikh Sharif Abdullah Ali. Peace and love. Ross, take this stuff down. Come on, take it home.
Our problem is lack of knowledge and the intended deceit and trickery done
Because even those who read the bibliotext that you call the Bible says he shall fool even the most elite. So even those who think they're highly educated and this and that, they've been fooled. That's it. It's not really complicated.
It's the miseducation of the Negro. Everybody knows it, for those who need to know. It's the miseducation of the Negro. When we rise from the dead, they call us Pharaoh. It's the miseducation of the Negro. Everybody knows except those who need to know. It's the miseducation of the Negro. When we rise from the dead, they call us Pharaoh. The gods are back, the Moors are strapped. We waking up, and we want our land back. Running off, that's a trap. You know them gods don't like that. Waking up from a nap, like where the hell my crown at? Take a step back, like I know this bitch ain't bite back. That's kinda crazy how this karma it strikes back. We enslaved the Slavs, so they slaved us right back. We called them niggas, then they niggered us right back. We brought them to life, but they ain't bring that right back. If I was lazy, dirty dancing with the baby, then just maybe won't revolt like Haiti. I too smart, love a tour, Marcus Garvey your ass. No, but you are leading God body the man. Now I ain't gotta be bad, and you ain't gotta be mad, but the planet is heating up, so the first I'll be last. I got that melanin that's better than anything you ever medicine. We at your front door, wonder why you never let us in. Oh, I get it, you never wanted to put some credits in. Well, just forget it, cause I don't know if you can edit sin. We've been enlightened long before Thomas Edison. Skeletons to prove that you wasn't even relevant. In the Caucasus Mountains, cause the sun was your deficit. Captain Caveman with the plan of the Jesuits. Check my bloodline, but in time I bring the evidence. Self-governing body, so I don't need no president. Democrat, Republican, donkey versus elephant. I studied it all, so I ain't down with none of that. I self-law and master, so I'm running that. This Molotov counter burns faster, so I like the match. Despite the fact that ain't even what I'm mad at. I spit the truth, so here's the roof, so you can that. My skin is brown and here's the proof, but you ain't hearing that. Dead in the eyes of the law, that's why they call you black. Naming all caps when you fall, that's why I strike back. And strike that from the record ab initio. You gon' need more than some pressure, I got a vicious flow. I can take the road to the high, or I can hit them low. Try to calcify my third eye, or you gon' have to go. Chemtrails all over the sky, and you don't wanna know. Don't go inside of my tribe, they coming no more.
If you believe that your history started on a slave boat, I can guarantee you that's where it ended too. That's what I'm saying. Then, after saying that, and so believe me, go back and do some studies past the 1700s, and I'll guarantee you, sure as you're sitting there listening, or wherever you are, watching, listening, you will find nothing but the word Moor, and that's another thing, because we weren't called black. That description, maybe, black or Moor or whatever, but that's it. Know the difference between a description and an actual, person, place, or thing, noun. I mean, really.
It's the miseducation of the Negro. Everybody knows it, to those who need to know. It's the miseducation of the Negro. When we rise from the dead, they call us Pharaoh. It's the miseducation of the Negro. Everybody knows except those who need to know. It's the miseducation of the Negro. When we rise from the dead, they call us Pharaoh. From the pyramids to the project, the beginning is the part they want you to forget. Implant your memory with that noose around your neck. It's the King Alpha plan and it's set in full effect. The butler, the help, and 12 years a slave. Django and Selma, they get them accolades. They made a movie called Exodus about the gods and kings with an all-white cast from Egypt. Now that's the same. They ain't never seen no movie about no European slaves. We were traveling the seas when they was living in caves. We had to civilize them, show them how to behave. In fact, we brought them light and taught them how to bathe. This is trading places with stolen identity. We agreed to be educated by our own enemy. Reverse psychology, I'ma need a lobotomy. An exorcism just to get this shit about me. Roz Mariah, Anna E, Miss Raheem, Tariq, Cujo from Cannonland. Listen to them speak. I done learned from the best. I don't need no DNA test. The nations in my womb has given from the breast. The empire's back, so you know what's next. The Moors are waking up, now you must confess. Yes, yes. The Moors are waking up, now you must confess.
Birthright theft. The whole deal was, where's my land that, for them? The whole deal was, this is really, quote-unquote, promised land. This is really the quote-unquote heart of civilization. This is really what you might call Northwest Africa. And I say that to people so they can stop saying I'm going back to Africa and understand that they're in it. It's the Garden of Eden.
That's what they had in Columbus's journal that they arrived
Absolutely.
in Eden.
So what has happened is absolute lies. That's right. And the land of milk and honey is another terminology. So these things are important because as you're doing studies, and if it says the land of milk and honey, you need to know they're talking about the North American continent. If you don't know that, then you miss it. And that's part of our problem. That part of our problem is the miseducation. We have been lied to, lied to, lied to, lied to, lied to, lied to.